And welcome back, everyone, to What If. Today's What If comes to us from Oblivion42, Child of Oblivion, who asked the question, the age-old question, the eternal question. What if Kid Buu had accidentally released Knull in the Marvel Universe? Now, to get context of what we'd be dealing with here, you obviously have to know who Knull is. If you're not a Marvel fan, buckle up, kids. See, before the dawn of, our universe, in the Marvel Universe, the main universe, there was darkness. Inky black, lovely darkness. And this being, Knull, existed in the inky black, lovely darkness. But the Celestials were also a thing. And the Celestials were creating life and light. And this guy hated that. So, he decided, hey, I'm basically going to use heat and sound to create this living sword called the All Black. The first symbiote, basically. And so he went around butchering Celestials until all the symbiotes that basically he took his shadow to do this. And until all the symbiotes eventually came together and created Clintar, which is the symbiote word not for planet, but for prison, and imprisoned him inside the world of the symbiotes. Until he was eventually released and started wreaking all kinds of shit. Knull is a god tier. He is a universal level threat. This guy wants to snuff out all the light there is. That means all the life, all the sun, all the flames, all the little lightning, all of it. This is a guy who bitch smacked the Sentry around. If you know how powerful the Sentry is, this is a guy who could easily wipe out the Marvel Universe himself if he really wanted to, thanks to all the power of the Sentry having the power of I believe it's 10,000 exploding suns. A guy who basically made the X-Men his bitch. Thor was considered a threat because of Mjolnir, but that was about it. Ultimately, it took Ed Venom getting all new sorts of uber powers to put him down for what we'll call good. Because I say what we'll call good due to the fact that this guy existed before time existed. This guy existed before the concept of being alive or dead existed. So even if you are to destroy him, he doesn't actually die because he's neither alive nor dead. I believe it's called amortality. Not immortality, but amortality. He is him. So, what the hell is it like when a being like this enters the Dragon Ball universe? Because I admit, I don't mean to, but I wank Dragon Ball Z a little bit in terms of how strong they are if you throw them into different universes. Like, if you throw Goku into My Hero, he's going to wreck shop in that universe, because he's literally a universal level threat. But comics worlds like DC and Marvel have more than several universal threats. They have dozens of universal threats, whereas Dragon Ball actually doesn't have, when you really look at Dragon Ball doesn't have a lot of true universal threat. Even Kid Buu is not a universal level threat. He is a threat on a galactic level, and he could systematically destroy galaxies by blowing up planets and stuff, but to threaten the entire existence of the universe itself? No, Kid Buu's not that strong. Goku, Vegeta have the power to be a universal level threat. Beerus is certainly a universal level threat. In fact, he's most likely low multiversal. In fact, any destroyer god is most likely some level of universal threat. But I mean, that's a handful of characters. Broly's a universal level threat. Jiren is a universal level threat. Topo might even be considered a universal level threat given his god training. But angels technically are universal level threats, but that's a handful of individuals spread across an entire multiverse. Whereas Marvel, we got, let me just throw it out here real quick. We got Galactus, we got Thanos, we got Knull here. Any one of the beings like Eternity, Infinity, man, like any of them could be universal level threats because they're technically part of the universe. Kang is a universal level threat. And that's just throwing out Odin, would theoretically be a universal level threat. Sentry, as I said, would be a universal level threat. The Phoenix Force is a universal level threat. So what happens when a universal level threat gets released at a point in time where they didn't have universal levels of power? Well, first off, Kid Buu's going around destroying planets. And one of those planets would be Clintar. Or at least would be the symbiote homeworld, releasing Knull. Now, as the fight with Boo is going on in the world of Kai. Knull is probably regaining his sense of what's going on. It's like, I see, so I've been rid of so much. There's no actual voice for him yet because he's never appeared in any media outside the comics. I would love it if he would show up in either a Sony, Marvel, or both worlds, but we'll see what happens. I don't think it will happen. But anyway, he is, he's just he's trying to gain his bearings. Finally, shows up in the world, asks a few questions, and just destroys the world, and is proceeding to just wipe out individuals. Now, the All Black, he would be, because we're going with an idea that he's released, he would neither have the All Black nor the Grendel symbiote, which is a much more powerful symbiote than something like Venom or Carnage or something like that. It was his own personal steed, basically. But he wouldn't have either of those. That being said, he'd still be immensely powerful. So when it's all said and done, they're all happy and it's like, yeah, we did it. All of a sudden, they're sensing this energy, this darkness. And the, Shin and everyone is just like, well, what is it? What is it? And it's not, it isn't good. That's for certain. And it's like, what do you mean? What do you mean it isn't good? What is it? I'm sensing, Elder. It's like, there was a legend, they said long ago, a being who existed even before the creation of this universe. He was only known as by one word, Knull. And so Knull is, going around kind of just taking it, reforges basically. Let's for the sake of argument say he reforges the All Black, and he can even make a new Grendel again. So he's now, and he can manipulate symbiotes too, because it's a hive mind. So he's coming. And he's just like, I'm here to play. I'm here for my revenge. Just nothing all light. And so the Z Fighter's like, you can't take this man on, but you barely were able to beat Boo, and this thing is beyond Blue. Oh, well beyond Blue. Well beyond Blue. We got to do something. The clown's right. And then he showed up, and I'd imagine Knull would head straight to Earth. It's one of the only really heavily populated planets we know of left. I mean, there's the Frieza Force stuff, but maybe he's wiping them out along the way. He bypasses them because their population is small. Although they do have an eternal day. And goes straight to Earth. Goku and them, meet him head off at the pass. And Goku and, gang are squaring off. It's like, I see. So you're the one who defeated Majin Buu. Because they say that Majin Buu is old as time immemorial, but this guy's older than even that. So maybe he knew about Buu. Let's just say, for the sake he knew about Buu. Say, I'll give you one chance. Stay out of my way, and I'll give you a swift death. Or get in my way, and I'll give you a slow death. How about neither of them? It's like, so, that's fine. It's been a while since I had some fun. And then, he starts to envelop the sky with the symbiotes, basically covering the entire Earth. So, there will be nothing but darkness again. And they both power up the Super Saiyan, they're Super Saiyan 2. Just, I see, so you are lights in the dark. Well, little lights. I cannot have that. And Knull comes in, and he's just and they're fighting, and Knull is capable of keeping up with them with little difficulty. He's got All Black. He's kind of cutting them when he can. Goku automatically goes to Super Saiyan 3. Yeah, poof. And so he's clashing with Knull, who's like, actually, I'm saying, I must admit, you are a worthy opponent, Saiyan, but you are nothing. But your light cannot outshine the darkness. That is inevitable. And then just smacks Goku. Got a final, and all of a sudden he sees final flash. Flash! Blast Knull. It does injure him, but he starts he's like, to be able to hurt me like that, I will say you are impressive. Kamehame! Oh, you too now. And then just slice it. Everyone's doing the best they can, and it's nothing's doing it. Nothing's working. And so all is seeming lost, and this goes on for a while, and I mean a while, about like days, weeks. Like, they're trying to save the Earth, but it's just not doing anything. He's basically had enough of it. And, he finally corners him after like one final fight, and he's basically just monologuing villain style. He's about to like deliver the final blow. When all of a sudden he just feels like, what? My hive. What is going on? And the hive just starts to disappear. It's just like dissipating, incinerating. They're not like leaving, they're dying. And with this weird blue or purple haze going around there. I was like, this is the one you spoke of, Whis. Yes, Lord Beerus. And there's Beerus and Whis. An opponent like Knull would be something Beerus would be needed to. Whis would have to wake Beerus up. Like he'd be like, "Oh, this is not good," because Beerus, as far as I know, Beerus is millions of years old. Like he is old, but we don't know how old he actually is. It's entirely possible he knows about Knull. Like when he was given the position of God of Destruction, because we know they are not born, they are appointed, they are trained. There might have been like an original gods of destruction that may have been born destroyers, but then they passed on afterwards. But Knull is an opponent that he would definitely have to attend to. So you're this Knull life, Whis has been telling me about. I see why you're such a threat. You plan to blanket the universe in darkness as it was prior to its birth. A novel concept, but one I cannot allow. As the destroyer of the seventh universe, it's my job to maintain order and balance through my third destruction. To which Knull does is like, of course, you're a destroyer god. And he kind of floats up, and they have kind of a meeting of the minds a little bit. Just like, so what would you have me do then? Just go back to just let everything be bygones, let there be light continue in my world, your world. I'm afraid you're mistaken, Knull. This world belongs to any mortal that exists here, under my supervision, of course. Your supervision, you destroy. You're no better than me, Beerus. You're just a destroyer, like anything else. True, but my destruction serves a very specific purpose and balance to this universe. Yours, on the other hand, serves only your means. I'll give you this one-time opportunity, Knull. Go back to whatever hole you were buried in and stay there. And if I refuse, well then, it has been a while since I've found a worthy opponent. I was thinking the same thing, cat. And they clash, and it's just boom! Because Knull, again, Celestials can like warp reality. They are universal level threats. And there's more universal level threats. They are universal level threats, but Beerus is very much also that. Knull also falls into the category. So Knull would be someone who could probably not just go toe-to-toe with Beerus, could give Beerus a legitimate fight. And they're just going back and forth. Beerus' martial arts experience, though, is probably more than Knull's straight combat experience. He's got more finesse, and he has basic Ultra Instinct. He can tap into it to certain degrees. So he's definitely has the edge over Knull. And meanwhile, Vegeta and Goku are just like, who is this guy? What? I can't sense his energy. Oh, he's Lord Beerus, the destroyer of this god of this universe. But by the way, what is this delightful substance? Pudding? Pudding, it's so nourish and sweet and succulent. Ooh. But either way. But besides that, as I was saying, he is the destroyer god, and he explains what a destroyer god is. Beerus finds like, I've had enough of this. Hakai! And then, the Hakai hits. Now, being strong enough to match Beerus can resist the Hakai, but if Beerus is like really throwing out a lot of his energy here, and we've kind of established Beerus is high universal, low multiversal, which Knull is not multiversal. Well, eventually, Knull finally gets, hit by it. And the problem for Knull, as opposed to any other type of attack that could kill him, is that Hakai, destroyer energy, just erases you from existence. And that's different than death. And that's something that Knull would not have any special resistance to. So when Beerus finally just goes all out and just, Hakai, just a super Hakai, Knull can't resist it. You think this will kill me? I was born before time existed. I will be back. I was born. There's nothing that you can't kill me. I will be back. It's a good thing that I'm not killing you. What? And he just realized too. He's feeling the odds. Like, what is it? Destroy. You should have known. No, destroyer gods don't kill. We erase. Your being will be erased from existence of this universe. Mind, body, and soul. There will be no afterlife for you. There'll just be nothingness. You bastard! He tries one more attack, but just can't do anything. And so, well, I must admit, that was fun. You're Saiyans, aren't you? I was like, yeah? It's like, tell me, have you heard anything about a Super Saiyan God? Not that I'm aware of Lord Beerus. Lord Beerus? What? And he sees, because Vegeta remembers who this guy is. I see. Well, luckily I've been given a satisfying opponent for this for now. Perhaps I'll be back another time. And so, yeah, that's Knull and the fight Beerus ends. Now, does this affect anything long term in the Dragon Ball Super world? Well, they do know who Beerus and Whis are. Now, I don't think Beerus probably just goes back to napping. I imagine he wakes up again his usual time. This time, however, Goku and Vegeta probably have been training a little harder. Goku and him have a fight again because Goku still remembers him and wants to take him on, loses miserably. Everyone remembers Knull this time, including Bulma, so she's not stupid enough to disrespect him this time around, by slapping him. And everyone is actually cordial with him, so he doesn't threaten the planet. They also make sure to keep food on call for him because they're told he loves food. And really, that's actually about it. They're just a bit more courteous with him. Goku gets to be a god. Their fight goes down. There's really not even much in the way of strength increasing for them. They're not that much stronger than their canon counterparts. Now you can make an argument, well, maybe Whis and Whirus are around there much longer, so they hit the god form earlier. That's possible, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think Beerus would be satisfied with the fight he had with Knull, and then would go back, take a nap, then come back at the regularly scheduled time he came back. But that is just my opinion. Maybe you think differently. Maybe you think it could go on a lot longer. I chose it as a one shot because I knew with Beerus existing and and someone who enjoys a good challenge, this would not last long in terms of a what if. So that's my thoughts, but what do you think? Maybe you think differently about how the scenario go. Let me know in the comments below if you do. But thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. As always, you want us to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know the review of it at some point. Hit that bell if you want to be notified. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.